Zero is not a definition of your worth. It is a starting point of your test. It's the deafening silence of a room where the world's expectations have finally stopped screaming. Most people fear this void, but they don't realize that starting from nothing isn't a funeral for your dreams. It's the birth of a soul that no longer needs permission to exist. World building. There is a specific kind of clarity that comes with a bank account at absolute zero. It's not in the air, it's in the realization that you are momentarily invisible to the world's machinery. You watch the city move from the sidelines, a ghost in a grid built for those who have already arrived. The routines here are heavy, but they are honest. You don't wake up to an alarm, you wake up to the realization that your value is being tested in a way that status can't measure. Your coffee is cheap, your shoes are worn, but your character is the only thing you have left to spend. Psychological evolution. At some point, the pressure stops feeling like a weight and starts feeling like a sculptor. You stop asking, why me, and start asking, what am I being prepared for? Ambition at this level begins to transform. It's no longer a violent desire to be seen, but a quiet commitment to be useful. You realize that discipline isn't a wall between you and the abyss, it's a stewardship of the time you've been granted. You become comfortable with the solitude, understanding that while others are spending their lives on the surface, you learn the price of the material world and you vow never to let it own the heart that survived the dark. Emotional peak. Then the numbers change, the invisibility fades, and the world begins to call your name. You stand in the rooms you used to dream about, but you realize you brought the lessons of the empty room with you. The internal pressure doesn't disappear, it just becomes a responsibility. You have the prestige, you have the comfort, but you see now that an empire becomes a cage only when it becomes the purpose instead of the means. You realize your worth was never in the balance on the screen, but in the peace you maintained when the screen was blank. You didn't just build a career, you found a center that the world can't give and can't take away. They tell you that starting from zero is the hardest part. They're wrong. The hardest part is staying whole once you have everything the world told you to want. You survived the silence of having nothing, and now the real challenge is not having everything, but keeping your heart unchanged when Allah expands your provision. You realize the palace was never the destination, it was just another place to remember who you were when you were invisible. The zero wasn't an end, it was the foundation. True success is not the arrival at a destination, it is the clarity of heart you keep while walking through the valley and the palace alike.